All right, welcome. It's 8:01. This is day 74, I believe. Wow, we're going to go for 100 at least. So I'm committing to at least 100. And after that, we will continue in some capacity, whether it's daily or bi-weekly, semi-weekly, something like that. But we're going to keep it going forever because meditation is a multi-life practice. All right, we're continuing with our discussion on reincarnation. So I like to start most of these controversial talks with a disclaimer to not believe a word I say. I'm just posing postulations for your consideration. Postulations for consideration to try to understand how life works. Why? Because when you understand how life works, it gets easier. When life is mysterious and challenging, we don't know we can't figure stuff out. It's hard. It's like we're walking through a jungle without a machete and we can't see anything. But when we figure out how it works, our perception is elevated and we can see the path ahead. And that's why we talk about these things. So let's continue our discussion on reincarnation. We'll do tonight, then maybe another day on this. But the topic I want to bring up tonight is another piece of evidence as to why reincarnation might be real. So there are lots of arguments for it, and there are some arguments against reincarnation. So here's an argument for reincarnation. Let's consider abilities, innate natural abilities that people are born with. Why? Why can Mozart and Beethoven compose symphonies at 5 years old? Why can Elon Musk run 6 or 7 multi-million dollar companies and send astronauts to space? Why can Steve Jobs create amazing products that everyone wants to line up and buy? And yet other people are born with deformities, severe disabilities, cognitive disabilities, physical disabilities. Why? So why are some people good at math, good at reading, and others are not? Other children are better at music and art. Why do we have some natural capacities and other deficits? Well, one argument can be it's chance. You're born that way. There's no reason. It's just the way it is. Child prodigies just happen. People with disabilities just happen. Or we've been going through a process of learning over multiple lives. So in the theosophical tradition, the soul retains the essence of every experience gained during each lifetime. The soul has a great memory. It's an eternal repository of experiences. So continuing on with this line of thought, if you've practiced piano, violin, multiple lives, how good do you think you'd be if you practiced for multiple lives, right? So there's a saying that if you practice anything for 10,000 hours, you become a master. 10,000 hours, whether it's golf, whether it's algebra, whether it's astrophysics, 10,000 hours. Now can you imagine 50 lifetimes of practice? So why wouldn't someone who had been practicing science for 50 lifetimes be born with extraordinary capacities like an Albert Einstein or a Carl Sagan or a Stephen Hawking? They've done it before. Why are some people predisposed towards certain walks of life and other people are not? We have tendencies towards that. We've done it before. We have magnetism. We have karma. We have samskaras. We have impressions that our subtle body has been developing lifetime after lifetime. Yeah, it's a progression. So this plays into the idea I brought up before about life being a school. Life is a school. Earth is a classroom. Each lifetime that we emerge into a physical body is a different grade. We learn different lessons. So you've heard the concept of new souls and old souls. Yeah, so a soul that is new into the human kingdom has been spending eons and eons in other kingdoms. So what are those other kingdoms? You remember my Circle of Life shirt that I wear all the time. What are the other kingdoms that new soul would have just graduated from? I know this is a little bit controversial, but that new human soul just graduated from the animal kingdom. So what are some of the higher, more advanced animals? Oh, sorry, I'm missing some of the comments down here. Oops. So what are some of the higher animals? Dolphins. Hey, Kara. Primates. Elephants. Domestic animals, dolphins, yep, exactly. Yeah. Do dolphins have souls, do you think? Do you think dogs have souls? Gorillas, exactly. Do you think their animals have souls that are receiving the essence of experience that the animals are gaining? Yes, I would say animals do have souls. Monkeys, yeah, primates. So what happens, see, what would the purpose of life be if an animal soul just continued to reincarnate over and over in the body of a chimpanzee? Well, eventually that chimpanzee would, yeah, exactly, Lorena, absolutely. Eventually that chimpanzee would become relatively enlightened. I mean, think about it. If life is a school, and if that chimpanzee body, or soul rather, emerged into multiple bodies and experienced life as a chimpanzee 30, 40, 50, 200 times, they'd eventually learn everything there is that body can provide. Well, there's got to be something more after that. If the soul is eternal, there's got to be something more. So when that chimpanzee soul has become enlightened through the experiences of a chimpanzee body, there's got to be something more. Maybe they'll incarnate into the body of the next advanced form. Well, if that's the highest form of the animal kingdom, there's going to be a graduation into the human kingdom. A new human, a new soul. And we all have examples of people that we know that might be new souls, and examples of people that might be old souls. We know what kinds of people would be a relatively young soul and relatively old soul. People who haven't figured out life, people who have just endless challenges, endless conflicts, troubles, run-ins with the law, severe suffering and pain. They haven't figured it out. Doesn't make them bad people. They just haven't figured it out. And then we have people who might be close to enlightenment, and those people might have a glow about them. They might have figured out a lot about life. They might have understood truths, and they might be able to share those truths to help other people's lives be better. An old soul, it's a progression. It's a continual expansion of consciousness. The soul retains every experience, nothing is wasted. So the more we learn, the more we do, the wiser our soul becomes, and then each physical form is able to utilize that wisdom. Now, one more concept to introduce before we do take our meds. In certain traditions, specifically Buddhism, there's a concept called transmigration, and you may or may not have heard of that, transmigration. That's the idea of a soul that was or is in a human form currently, reincarnating in an animal body. Now, Theosophy does not uphold that concept for one simple reason. That would be a regression. If the soul is learning lifetime after lifetime and gaining in experience and gaining in wisdom, why would the soul revert back to a more limited form for limited experience? Animal bodies are more limited than the human body. Different brain capacities, different, what do you call these things? Phalanges, different, opposable thumbs. So different ability to experience the world. So if Earth is a school, you don't go back in grades unless you are really bad, unless you are really naughty. You might have to be penalized and repeat a grade, but you're not going to reincarnate into the body of an earthworm, for example, if you've already been in the body of a human being. Because what's the logic behind that? Is it a punishment? Well, the universe doesn't punish. So why? What would the point be to reincarnate in the body of an animal? If you're a bad boy or a bad girl, you're going to have to repeat lessons in life, but you're not going to transmigrate to a different physical form. According to Theosophy, now remember, this is up to you to decide if it's true or not, or if any of this is even real, or if it's all BS. It's just something to think about. Why are some people extremely talented and some people are not in certain areas? How does a child prodigy get his or her abilities? How does that work? So when we learn these things and we ponder these things, it just puts life into perspective. It changes our awareness from the physical body up to that of the soul, which is, the eternal part of us where no suffering can exist. Nicole, you're right. No good or bad. I'm using it for comic relief. There is no good or bad. Karma actually can't be preceded by the word good or bad. There is no good or bad karma. Karma means action. Whatever the action is, there's a reaction. An action can result in pain, it can result in pleasure, or maybe pain and pleasure are also both illusory. An action causes a reaction. We might perceive it and label it as painful or pleasurable. But you're absolutely right. Someone's been studying. Her name is Nicole. Let us do a meditation tonight together and ponder the idea of eternal expansion of consciousness through the soul. Perhaps you get to a level of enlightenment that you get to choose, so the soul chooses to live as an eagle or a spider or monkey. Okay, sure. I mean, I would be willing to bet if you're an enlightened human, you have the ability to choose that if you wish, yeah. I'd like to ask what the purpose would be. What would the reason for expending your energy for a lifetime as a monkey or an eagle be? How would you help the world that way? Maybe you come back as someone's spirit animal, maybe you give someone signs or help that way. But I like to look at life as logical. The universe is logical, it's rational. Our little piece of gray matter here can't really comprehend it, but I believe it's logical. Maybe it's not, maybe it's just by chance. Mm-hmm. Let's breathe. Please sit tall. Find your stable seat. Let the shoulders relax. Take a slow, deep inhale. Fill the lungs all the way up. And exhale. Let's do some Kapalabhati, shaking off any dullness or any heaviness that we've acquired over the past couple days from what's been happening around us in the world. So sit tall and begin to pump the stomach in, and let's try to do the same rhythm tonight together. I'm going to start us off by going kind of slow. Let's try to stay together here. Take a big inhale and exhale to prepare. Kapalabhati through the nose. Please begin. Try your best to match that rhythm. Isolate the ab muscles, and if you want to heighten the intensity, squeeze Mula Bandha each time you exhale. So lift that pelvic floor each time you breathe in. Out rather. Each time you breathe out, you lift the pelvic floor. If that pace doesn't work for you, speed it up or slow it down to suit you. Keep the crown of the head growing taller. Keep the spine erect. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the rhythmic exhalation moving and feel yourself cleansing your energy. That's the process of Kapalabhati, cleansing, cleaning, clearing energy. Keep going. Now if you choose, let's all speed up. Emphasizing the exhale only, snapping the belly, a little bit stronger for the last 20 seconds. Exhale completely, push all the air out of the lungs, and then breathe in completely. Take a full breath. Hold the breath, squeeze the Mula Bandha, lift the pelvic floor, pull the belly button back and up, lower the chin, all three bandhas holding. Additional swirling of energy, cleansing, heightening of awareness in the abdomen. Keep the breath held in longer if you can. When you need to, slowly exhale through the nose, but try to hold. Be calm. And exhale. Breathe calmly now. Pure breathing, full inhales and exhales as smooth and as slow as possible. Make sure the eyes are gently closed. The forehead is unfurrowed. Lips are soft. Face is soft. Shoulders are heavy. Hands and arms are heavy. In the yogic tradition, we're told that there's a channel from our lower self to the higher self. It's called the Antahkarana, the silver thread that connects our lower nature to our soul. Some traditions say that it's rooted into the heart. Some say that it's rooted into the third eye. Wherever you feel that your connection to soul is, just go there. Develop your awareness of that space. It can be anywhere that you feel in your body. Develop your awareness at that place, whether it's the heart, whether it's the third eye, the midbrain. It might even be the navel, the throat. Or maybe it's not any of those places. Maybe it's the whole entire body, or maybe it's nowhere in the body. So wherever your seat of the soul is, develop awareness of a silver cord, a silver thread, made of subtle consciousness that connects you to your soul. It is a channel, a two-way communication line. The quieter our mind becomes, the more we can hear the whisperings of the soul, communicating wisdom, answers, reasons, guidance, comfort, and peace to us. When the mind and emotions are active, we don't hear it. Keep your mind as calm as possible and ponder your connection to your soul. The part of you that is genderless, colorless, nameless, without any labels. It's the part of us that is completely true, completely unconditionally loving, 100% compassionate, and 100% connected. Rest in the level of the soul. Please return once again to your breath. Reacquainting yourself with deep inhales and deep exhales. Just keeping the eyes closed for a moment. Create this intention to live this physical life as a means to achieve your soul's purpose. What is the purpose of the soul? And how can you honor that overarching purpose through your actions and deeds and thoughts, words? What does your soul want from you? Why were you born in the body you're born in the town or city you were born in, to the family into which you were born? What is your current purpose? What lessons are you here to learn? And what lessons are you here to teach? If we don't have any goals or directions, we'll never get there and we'll never achieve them. So become aware of your purpose. It is there. We just have to hear it. Please bring your palms to your chest in prayer pose. Bow the chin. Say something nice to yourself right now. A little bit of gratitude. I am strong. I am capable. I am enough. Let's all breathe in together. Big breath. And open the eyes, please. Thank you for joining tonight. I know the environment's a little bit different. Time is a little bit different. We have one more day of 8 p.m. That's tomorrow night, and then 7 a.m. Monday. You guys are great.